Now, you don't have to be a pro to go to Disneyland and have a good time, but you definitely do not want to make rookie mistakes. This is something that can ruin vacation, so you don't want that to happen. That means you need to stick around to the end because the last tip is one that I've seen ruin more trips than anything else.
Welcome to RTD Adventures. My name is Jacob.
And I'm Brian.
And we're going to jump right in here. So, dieting, that is a rookie mistake, especially when going to Disneyland, because Disneyland is full of foods that aren't good for you. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're delicious and bad for you. I'm not saying you can't find options that are meeting the needs for, vegetable intake, things like that, fruits. But I do not go to Disneyland for these things. So I do not recommend dieting when you decide you're going to Disneyland. It will not be fun for you. It probably won't be fun for your party because you're going to be grumpy watching them all have Dole Whips, Mickey waffles, things that you can't have because you're dieting. So I suggest you do your dieting before and after.
And that's not to say that you can't follow specific dietary restrictions that you might have. Of course, for health reasons, you may need to be following that diet 24/7. But if you're just trying to, stick to a certain calorie number, that's not going to work out so well for you. It can be done, but it's very, very difficult. And there's just so many great options. If you need to take a break from your diet for a couple days, trust me, it is absolutely worth it. Disneyland has some of the best food of any vacation destination. If you're a foodie, if you love sweet treats, if you love savory snacks, there is something for everybody. So just skip the diet for a few days and enjoy your trip.
And get the churros.
And the next rookie mistake that you want to avoid is prioritizing fashion over comfort. Now, I know a lot of people are, they're putting their outfits together. They're trying to, a lot of people like Disney bounding where they're dressing up that's clothing that's inspired by a Disney character that's not a costume, okay? People love to dress up when they go to special places like this, but don't forget that this is a workout vacation. You're gonna be walking a lot. You're gonna be out in the heat in a lot of cases or out in the sun. And if you're not prioritizing being comfortable, you can make a terrible day for yourself, or you can ruin the entire vacation. Just wearing the wrong shoes and getting blisters can make life miserable for you. So prioritize comfort first, and then find something that looks good that's also gonna be comfortable to wear for an entire weekend.
Another rookie mistake that a lot of people do is thinking you don't need the Disneyland app. I'm gonna tell you right now, you need the Disneyland app. That thing is your lifeline from making reservations to looking at the map in real time, and also seeing the wait times of the rides that you're planning to go on. So make sure you are utilizing this amazing resource. Don't miss out. In fact, you can even use it when you're shopping now in the gift shops. So you can do the mobile checkout. It's awesome. So make sure you're using it. Don't not use the Disneyland app.
The next rookie mistake that you absolutely have to avoid is forgetting to take a break. Now, you may be in awesome shape and you may be able to go sunrise to sundown and not get tired, but if you're going with your family, they are not gonna be able to do that.
I got a nap.
Most people are gonna get tired. Most people are gonna wear themselves out if they try to go all day without taking a rest. But like I said, if you can, the rest of your group likely can't. Take the time to eat your meals slowly. Go inside an air-conditioned building and just relax for a little bit. If your family wants to go shopping, don't rush them out of the store. Let them relax a little bit. The less stress you can put on yourself as the week progresses, as your vacation progresses, the more likely you're gonna enjoy your trip. What you don't wanna do is exhaust yourself on the first day and be miserable for the rest of the trip. So just take your time, take some breaks, and if you can, schedule a nap in the middle of the day. If your trip is long enough to do that, trust me, it is well worth your time.
You'll wake up more refreshed and you'll have a better time on your vacation.
Here's another rookie mistake, and that's not accounting for travel time. Now, there's a couple different ways that this can affect people. Number one, if you want to go to Disneyland on your arrival date, let's say you're flying in from another state and you're landing in LAX, okay? It's an hour, 2 hours if traffic is bad to get from LAX to your hotel room. That's not even the time it takes to get from your hotel to Disneyland. And if you're planning on spending a long time at the park on that day, you better make sure you're getting there super early. So if you're concerned with that, that's something that you really should plan ahead for. Travel takes quite a while going from the airport to your hotel to Disneyland. Now, the other thing you need to account for is the time it takes to get from your hotel to Disneyland if you're doing rope drop. So we recommend being there at least 30 minutes ahead of time, more like 45 to an hour to be at the front of that rope drop line. But if it takes you a long time to get from your hotel to the park, and you're there after rope drop has already started, it can feel like a little bit of a waste of time. So make sure that you're fully aware of how long it takes to get from point A to point B. and then add a little bit more, because there's always things that are gonna come up here. You don't wanna misplan and ruin something, dining reservations or whatnot. You don't wanna miss those things just because you didn't plan appropriately. Take the time that whatever Google Maps says it's gonna take you to get there, and then add time to it. That's gonna be a big help in the long run.
Another rookie mistake would be driving from your hotel to the Disney park. Now, here's the thing. Those, day parking passes can be $30 and then $50 for the premier parking. So that can really add up daily. And on top of that, it takes a while to actually park your car, especially when there's a huge crowd. So you're you're in a Disneyland queue in your car waiting to park your car. We definitely prefer, either the shuttles or just the, Uber, Lyft, things like that to help you get, if you're farther away. If you're closer, obviously walking is preferred.
If you think about adding the cost of an Uber from the airport to the hotel and then taking an Uber to the park every day, it may actually still save you money, because think about the $30 a day for parking at the parking garage. And then think about the cost of renting a car if you've flown in. If you're not bringing your own car, that price can add up pretty quickly. And a lot of times it's worth your time just to walk to the park. There's a lot of great hotels that are not terribly overpriced that are within walking distance. If that's an option, definitely take advantage of it. Here's a rookie mistake that gets a lot of people, and that's falling victim to long lines. I'm not saying you can completely avoid lines altogether, but you don't have to wait in 2-3 hour lines all the time.
No.
Okay. In fact,
please don't.
If you wait in a line that's more than an hour long, you're probably doing it wrong. If you take rope drop into consideration, if you take in late night into consideration, when a lot of the families have left the parks, if you watch the Disneyland app and take a look at the wait times there, if you use Genie Plus the right way, there's ways to get around the long lines. That's not to say that you don't wait in lines at all. That's to say that you avoid the long lines. So just do a little bit of research. It is well worth your time to be prepared in that sense. So make sure that you take a look at our Genie Plus video so you understand how to use that properly. We're gonna link that in the description down below.
A very big rookie mistake is planning your trip at the last minute. Don't be that guy or girl. Oh my goodness, that is stressful. I'm stressed just thinking about it. That's like getting the airplane tickets, getting the reservations. You have to get the reservations for the park if you can get those. On top of that, reservations for restaurants, transportation. It's all just stressing me out right now. Don't do that. Please do it for me. Plan your trip out. Don't do this at the last minute. Unless, of course, you live right next to Disneyland, you have the ability and there's reservations open. But otherwise, don't do this.
Of course, if you live close to Disneyland, you may be used to taking last-second trips.
Yeah.
But for most of us, we don't live close to the parks. We've got to plan this stuff far out in advance. You can't just take a vacation day the week ahead of time and then plan to actually make it to Disneyland in time. That's not going to work out for you. So please do your research and make sure you plan far enough in advance so that you're not running into these problems. Last thing on our list, this is the one that I've seen ruin more vacations than anything else, and that's being over-prepared for your trip and being underprepared for your trip. You've got to plan, but you can't plan so much that it ruins everything. So here's an example. I read a story from somebody recently that was complaining that they were looking forward to their Disney trip their entire life, and they finally got there, they brought their family, and they said they're never going back because they tried to plan so many different things that they couldn't get it all done. And they didn't meet their expectations that they had set because they had every 5-10 minutes, there was something they had planned on doing. And of course, things never go the way you plan on happening, especially at Disneyland, right? That you can't account for all the different wait times for everything. You can't account for things that might go wrong with transportation, or if your meal takes longer, or if rides are closed, right? There's always something that's gonna go wrong. You have to be flexible. That being said, if you're underprepared and you haven't made any reservations for the park, if you haven't made dining reservations, if you don't even know what the park looks like, if it's your first trip there and you've never looked at a map, that can make things difficult too. You need to prepare, you need to know what to expect, you need to make some plans, but you have to be flexible. Have your favorite things you want to do, have backup plans, and make sure that there's only a few select things that are must-dos, because if you fill your entire trip with things that, if you say, if I can't do all this, my trip's gonna be horrible, you're not gonna have a good trip. Don't over-prepare, don't under-prepare, just make sure you're well-researched.
So, you have just graduated from rookie to pro. You cannot say that you don't know these things now because we have just told you. If you didn't get it, I do recommend that you rewind this video back to the beginning and start over and take notes. Now that you know, please, let us know in the comments if we missed anything that you think that we could have talked about to make you less of a rookie.
And if you've made any of these mistakes, tell us about your experience. Tell us things that you've done in the past that maybe others can learn from. We're all about helping people have the best trip possible. And if you can share your knowledge with someone else, please do so. Leave those comments in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video and share it around, subscribe to our channel. All that stuff helps us bring more great Disney content your way. If you are learning about Disneyland for the first time, trying to prepare for your trip, we're gonna link a video to our Genie Plus how-to guide. Make sure you watch that so you know how to use this service. Thanks again for hanging out with us, everybody. And once again, thanks for watching.